What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comments of Pop Culture. For those just tuning into the channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, please take some time to do so. We're talking about another problematic issue when it comes to labeling cameo appearances versus first appearances, full appearances, and all that lovely jazz that we just love to continue to discuss. Now, a lot of you that watch my channel probably know that I've picked on Key Collector Comics app in the recent past, discussing issues with their consistency and how they're labeling things. Today, I'm picking on GOCOLLECT. GOCOLLECT has it wrong when it comes to a couple of books, and we're going to explore this today, guys. As you see on screen here, this is GOCOLLECT's listing for Strange Tales number 157. All right, we're going to be exploring two books today. That's Strange Tales number 157 and Strange Tales number 158. By industry standard, precedent, and any other way you can describe it, guys, Strange Tales number 157 is the first cameo appearance of Living Tribunal, and issue number 158 is the first full appearance of Living Tribunal. Right here, we have GOCOLLECT's listing for Strange Tales number 157. They have this stated, as you can see right here, the first appearance of Living Tribunal. Now, I've talked about this in the past to why these labels matter because they provide context. Ultimately, this is wrong. And let me explain further why it's wrong, because we're going to go look at what they have for Strange Tales 158. What do you see? Nothing. You see absolutely no labeling at all of any appearance in regards to the Living Tribunal. Now, uh, let's actually go and look at what other sources are citing these books as, and then we're going to go into the pages of the books themselves, guys. Let's look at Key Key Collector. Okay, look, as I've said, I've been critical of some of Key Collector's data, but look at what they have here. You see 157 on screen, you see 158 on screen. What do they have for 157? First cameo appearance of Living Tribunal. What do they have for 158? First full appearance of Living Tribunal. Round of applause for Key Collector. They have it right on this one. See, look, this goes to show, guys, I'm not here to blackball anyone. I'm just here to speak fact to truth, guys. Key Collector has this one right. Very, very, very happy to see this, by the way. All right, let's move on. Let's look at Comic Book Realm, guys. This is Strange Tales number 157. Look what they have right down here. First appearance of Living Tribunal, in parentheses, on last page of story only. Now, here's the thing. I think it's very odd how they state this, because it should say first appearance of Living Tribunal in cameo, right? When you talk about proper labeling. But look, at least they have proper context. I talked about this before. A first cameo appearance is still a first appearance. The first time you see someone is still a first appearance. It's their first appearance. Nobody's denying that. But you have to add context. First appearance, parentheses, in cameo. That's basically what Comic Book Realm is doing right here. They're saying this is the first appearance of the Living Tribunal, but on the last page of the story only, which, how does that transfer? Transfer to brief or cameo. So technically, Comic Book Realm has it right. They added the proper context, even though the wording might not be using the industry standard labels that set precedent and so forth. They are still adding the proper context. So I declare this is a proper definition of what this book is in regards to the Living Tribunal. Let's look at what they have for 158. What's it say right here? I believe this is an error, a typo. It should say first Living Tribunal full appearance. So again, proper context. And I've said this before about Comic Book Realm. They will be very specific in their labeling, like how they say, you know, Giant Size X-Men number 1. It says fourth overall appearance of Wolverine, but second full appearance. They will say first appearance in cameo or second appearance overall, first full for the next one of a character, and so forth. They're very, very detailed when it comes to describing the labels of the books at hand. So we could sit here and say Comic Book Realm has it right. We could sit here and say Key Collector has it right, and we can also say that Go Collect has it wrong according to what they have listed. And we are going to look into this right now. We're going to look into the pages of these books, guys. First hand account. Here it is. Strange Tales 157, guys. This book right here has a storyline of AIM agents and Nick Fury and so forth. We're going to just breeze through this story. By the way, this is Marvel Unlimited. I'm not huge on digital comics, but I enjoy having digital comics at my fingertips when I need them. All right, so here's the second story in the book. These issues of Strange Tales split each issue into two stories, one that dealt with Nick Fury, one that dealt with Doctor Strange. So this is a story right here that is with Doctor Strange and the Ancient One. It has nothing to do with the Living Tribunal at this point. We go through this story until we get to the end of it, and something happens where, boom, for what you have done, hapless mortal, you and the entire planet Earth must be totally destroyed. Such is the judgment of the Living Tribunal next to Sands of Death, where we are fully introduced to the character. Boom. What is this, guys? This is a last page cameo of the Living Tribunal. So, this is the same situation of all the more popular ones. This is the same setup as an Amazing Spider-Man 299 with Venom showing up on that last page. It's the same setup as Wolverine in 180 showing in that up in that last panel. It's the same setup as Avengers number 195 Taskmaster showing up in that last panel. This is the same exact concept, guys. This is a cameo appearance. It's the first appearance of Living Tribunal because boom, we see Living Tribunal right here. They say his name, first appearance, but in cameo. Then we're going to look at 158. We see Living Tribunal on the cover. So technically this is the first cover of Living Tribunal as well. But then you get into the story, guys. Well, this is Nick Fury's story. So let's fast forward through Nick Fury's story. And you get to the next story of Doctor Strange from where we left off. And boom, Living Tribunal. And we get to learn about the Living Tribunal, why he's here, what's going on, and he's basically explaining the story of why Earth needs to be destroyed and so forth. This is a full appearance. The character is the main antagonist in this story arc in the next issue. This is a full appearance, point blank, period, guys. Go collect. You have this wrong. Now, just to bring up one more resource, guys, when you look at the Overstreet guide, and look, Overstreet is a unique entity when you think about it, but and I'll explain why in a minute. But Overstreet lists 158 as the debut of the Living Tribunal. All right, it actually says 157, comma 158 debut of Living Tribunal. So what I'm taking from that is they have both books as being the debut. They don't dive into detail, and I say that Overstreet is interesting because sometimes it's just obscure what they list their books as, and sometimes they don't have listings. We know that the issue with the Overstreet is that it's about character space, characters in terms of lettering, how much they can fit per books. I mean, there's so much context in so many books where Overstreet doesn't list anything. So, sometimes it's the decision of whether this is worthy of listing the details and the labelings of these books. Is it a popular book enough to where we should even provide context? But in this situation, they really sum this up. I challenge even Overstreet moving forward in the future. I think first off, this is a character that I think is going to continue to become more popular. I do feel like this character is going to show up in the MCU at some point. I do feel that even Overstreet needs to go back and really list the proper context on these books, because I believe this is a key that's been increasing in value. And it's a book that's going to continue to do so and continue to get more steam and recognition on the market. And I feel that when that happens, Overstreet should really go back in and elaborate. Now, this isn't a situation where Overstreet is wrong by calling these books his debut. They're just not providing the proper context, which can be, hey, that can be problematic in the future. But ultimately, it's not really leading somebody astray. It's more of just not having the proper details to where it's almost still a mystery for these collectors that are trying to understand any detail about this character, the Living Tribunal. They're just not going to find it in Overstreet. When you come to Go Collect, though, it's misleading, because if you're saying, oh, well, I want to know what the first appearance is, and you look at 157, and it says first appearance of the Living Tribunal, and then you look at 158, and there's no context at all, people are going to go to 157 as the money book. But that's not the case. And I know, look, Go Collect has fair market value for 3,400 on 158 and 3,400 for 157. I've been watching this book on the market, and the value of these two books on the market is not the same. It is not the same. So, considering what I'm thinking here, and haven't dove into the information, but how many 9.8s of these books are on the market that have sold? Probably very few, if not maybe just one. And you can't really gauge a fair market value of this book when only looking at a 9.8, because it's not going to be accurate. You really have to look at more of the range of mid grade to some of the lower high grades to really gauge what this book is going for. 158 is the money book all day, every day. That book at this point in time is going to be probably, from the top of my head, two to three times the value of 157 right now. Easily, if not more. So, as a collector, when I'm trying to get my information on where do I look for the Living Tribunal, what is the book to invest in, Go Collect is feeding me misguided information. Okay? We know that industry precedent usually states that if there's the first appearance of a character that does not have a cameo appearance prior to a first full appearance, they do not have to state full. Okay? Usually the only time you add the context of full is when there's some sort of cameo prior, whether that's a full second appearance, a full third appearance, or a full first appearance. If there's a cameo prior, you add the context of full. This tells me right here that this is a first full appearance when it is not. It is the first cameo appearance of the Living Tribunal, why issue number 158 is the first full appearance, period. Go Collect, you are wrong on this, and I encourage you to update your listing for these books and add the proper context. Please. That's my video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, let me know what you guys think below in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. And until next time.